pop society. Chrissy and Jim were a legacy, not just another reality TV couple, and that legacy is now disintegrating in front of our own eyes. What actually transpired the night Chrissy was apprehended? Who revealed her and why now? Most importantly, what will Jim Jones do now that his beloved the facts of this leak are going to grow much more sinister, gruesome anyone could have imagined? Life has reportedly forsaken him. The rumors that Chrissy Lampkin had been caught red-handed weren't only rumors. They became a scandal so serious that shocked followers by shaking Jim Jones to his core and causing what had been spoken behind closed doors to explode into a grainy video footage went viral on social media, sparking public panic as frightening evidence started to spread online. Fans quickly discovered that the lady in the video was nearly exactly like Chrissy, even though at first it appeared to be just any blurry late-night video. The video showed her cuddling up to a man who wasn't Jim Jones when she was seated at a fancy lounge in Atlanta. The anonymous uploader captioned the photo, "Y'all's hands leaning in close and what looked like a kiss caught at just the right angle." Favorite couples are no longer objectives. Chrissy and her new hubby are out here. The internet exploded. Blogs jumped on it right away. Every gossip website has headlines claiming that Chrissy has been exposed. Fans expressed their incredulity in the comments section. That's not her. Tell me that this isn't real. When Jim sees this, he will go crazy. She finally found the insider testimony after all these years. However, it didn't end there. A few hours later, an insider claiming to be near an even larger bomb was dropped by the scenario. They said that Chrissy had not recently been seen with another male. She had supposedly wed him months earlier in a secret ceremony. According to the insider, Chrissy had been done with Jim for some time, but she was unable to openly declare it. She has been acting strangely, and now it's all coming to light since the receipts were leaked by someone close to her. Acknowledgements? Admirers, we wanted desperately to understand that. Even worse was the startling proof from the subsequent disclosure. Screenshots started to circulate, displaying the conversations exchanged between Chrissy and her new spouse. They were personal communications. Chrissy is said to have written, "I'm excited to be home with you. I'm sick of acting. You're my true love eternally." The man also wrote, "We don't need the fans startled when they read, 'Just you and me always.'" If the texts were Jim Jones's response, they weren't just casual flirting, they were evidence of a double life. According to insiders, Jim discovered over the internet, just like the rest of us did. According to a blog, he was browsing and he didn't believe it at first. But when the text came in, he lost it and hit the screen. The wall began yelling, "Not her, not Chrissy," he repeated. For a man who consistently exudes, this was a terrible. Now social media was in a frenzy. Twitter fans Chrissy on Instagram, pointing out that Jim hung for years without ever really, after years of Jim's devoted queen, by others who called her uncritical. Trending topics included Chrissy exposed and Jim deserves better. One fan said on Twitter, "She gave the ring to someone else after all that time waiting for it." Whoa. Another person wrote, "Jim cheated on her for years. Give that woman a chance to live." A vicious surprise sent shockwaves through the society at a time when the tale looked to have reached its worst point. An alleged real marriage certificate was made public by a gossip blog. It was grainy and somewhat obscured, but it mentioned Chrissy Lampkin's name next to another man's, dated only 3 months ago. If accurate, this was more than a simple affair. Treachery. According to reports, Chrissy had not only abandoned Jim, she had begun a completely new life with Jim, has always been vocal on social media, but his public quiet while maintaining appearances media, but he remained silent following the leak. No tweets, no postings, no lives, which only served to fuel rumors. Fans questioned whether Chrissy remained silent as well. But was he planning retaliation, or was he just holding off on sharing his side of the story until he had all the facts? It just made matters worse. Neither of them spoke, and the internet started to tell its own story, and it wasn't a beautiful one. Jim's inner circle is divided, according to the repercussions among friends insiders, with some of his close friends pushing him to, others are reminding him of their decades-long romance and advising him to speak with her before he cuts Chrissy off entirely, telling him her betrayal is inexcusable. Deciding, but one thing is certain. Jim's pride has suffered the most, and his trust has been destroyed. Cliffhanger. A video, purported text messages, and a purported marriage certificate. Fans are divided, but are these leaks authentic? Chrissy caught Jim red-handed, shattering him. Who leaked the proof, or is someone planning to ruin Chrissy and Jim's legacy? Is this the last straw for Jim Jones, or is it a friend, an opponent, or someone in the industry seeking to cause trouble? Or will he struggle to keep the lady he supported for decades? This narrative will be completely turned upside down by the following revelation. Even if the affair leak was already getting out of hand, what happened next made this messy scandal into one of the most catastrophic and darkest events in history. Recounts the story of Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin. The rumors became rage. The murmurs became cries. And the second video emerged right when the internet was overwhelmed by additional receipts that presented an even more repulsive image than anybody had anticipated. About the first lounge video was starting to settle. Another bombshell tape arrived. This time the footage was clearer. It shows Chrissy and the same unidentified male walking hand in hand out of a hotel, not merely strolling hand in hand. They were acting like a couple with no worries in the world, laughing and smiling. The post's description said, "When you think you're stealthy, but the streets are constantly observing." The double life of Chrissy is revealed. Supporters identified the individual right away as someone who has claimed to have attended a number of industry gatherings in the previous year. Bloggers swiftly discovered his name and asserted that he was a businessman with connections to Atlanta's NIN. His face was widely shared online in a matter of hours, with followers referring to him as Chrissy's new spouse. It leaked, but the video wasn't the biggest surprise either. A few hours later, a gossip outlet published what they said were court records demonstrating Chrissy, and despite being somewhat blurry, the paperwork seemed to indicate a marriage certificate submitted in another state only 3 months prior, proving that this individual was married. The first source had suggested that, if true, this wasn't only a sloppy affair. Rather, it was a whole new Jim Jones's breaking point. Chrissy had been lurking in plain sight. Jim had had enough, according to those close to him, and when the second tape came, he broke down entirely. He informed his people, "I can't believe this," and slammed his phone down before leaving the house. I provided Jim was allegedly seen driving about Harlem for hours while avoiding calls and refusing to answer messages. "She played me and she gave me everything." According to a different report, Jim feels ashamed. It's more than simply losing her.